Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Our chief guest is on the way and she'll be here any minute. May I request everyone to settle down, take your seats, and we'll begin shortly. Thank you. Woman Municipal Commissioner of the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation, and she's on her way and we'll begin shortly. Start? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Navya Singh, and it is my absolute honor and privilege to welcome you all to the 13th edition of the JSW Times of India Earth Care Awards. Since its inception in 2008, the Earth Care Awards has stood as one of India's most respected platforms, recognizing individuals, institutions, enterprises, and communities that are driving meaningful climate action. Over the past 13 editions, JSW and Times of India have together built this platform into a powerful movement that celebrates innovation, resilience, and leadership in sustainability across India. From pioneering businesses and grassroots organizations to civic bodies, researchers, and change makers to communicators in climate action, the Earth Care Awards honors those who are not just imagining a greener future, but actively building one. At a time when climate change is no longer a distant threat, but a part of our daily lives, these awards remind us that change is possible only when vision turns into action and collaboration creates real impact. The 13th Earth Care Awards continue this journey by highlighting solutions that are scalable, future-ready, and driving real change for communities and ecosystems. This year, we're also proud to continue the Young Climate Champions program, which was launched last year to inspire and empower the next generation of climate leaders. You will hear much more about this interesting and exciting initiative later this evening. To formally begin this evening, it is my honor to invite a remarkable leader whose unwavering commitment, vision, and leadership have played a defining role in shaping the journey and impact of the Earth Care Awards over the years. Please join me in warmly welcoming the Chairperson of JSW Foundation, Mrs. Sangeeta Jindal, for the special address.
Hello everyone. Firstly, thank you Ashwini ji for coming here. You are very important to the city of Mumbai and the city of Maharashtra, and only you can drive the change. Sir David Attenborough turned 100 this month. And at 100, he still says things that stop you in your tracks. He once said, "No one will protect what they don't care about. And no one will care about what they have never experienced." Think about that for a moment. It is in 2 sentences the entire premise for why we are here tonight. We live in a time where signals are hard to miss. The climate is changing. The evidence is everywhere. In our weather, in our forests, in our oceans, in the choices we are being forced to make. As nations, as communities, as individuals. And yet, what keeps me going is this: people are responding. Not just governments, not just corporations, ordinary people, local communities, young women and men in colleges, scientists working quietly, far from the spotlight. They are stepping up. That is exactly why we created the JSW, the Times of India Earth Care Awards, back in 2008. The mission was simple then, and it remains simple now. Find the people who are actually doing something. The innovators, the grassroots leaders, the institutions that have put climate at the center of what they do. Recognize them, celebrate them, tell their stories. 18 years later, we have an alumnus of 102 Earth Care Guardians. That number gives me real hope. I want to begin with someone who has been with this journey for over a decade. Dr. Mashelkar served as chairperson of the Earth Care Awards jury from 2015 to 2025, setting the bar holding it high, and ensuring that this process remains rigorous, credible, and above all, meaningful. Dr. Mashelkar, your contribution is this process which has been invaluable. The standards you set, the seriousness with which you approached each nomination, each deliberation, are the reason the Earth Care Awards carry the weight they do today. We have nothing but gratitude for your time, your wisdom, and your belief in what we are trying to believe. This year, we welcome Dr. Ajay Mathur, as the new chairperson of the jury, a scientist and climate leader of the highest standing. He takes the baton in the best possible spirit. Alongside him, our jury this year comprises Dr. Arunabha Ghosh, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan. As you know, Congratulations, Dr. Swaminathan, and you make India very proud. Rajat Gupta, Shloka Nath, and Jens Nielsen. The work of selection is never easy. Their thoughtfulness and commitment to this process means a great deal. This year, awardees reflects the full range of what climate action looks like in practice. The Community-Led Climate Action Award honors organizations that work from the ground up. They carry local knowledge. They build coalitions. They understand that the solutions of our biggest challenges often comes from the communities most affected by them. The institutional leadership in Climate Action Awards recognizes institutions that have embedded sustainability into policy and planning, not as an afterthought, as a core commitment. The Emerging Businesses in Climate Action Awards is for enterprises that understood something important early. The future belongs to those who build green. And then there are our young climate champions, students and young professionals across the country who are already having conversations, already inspiring their peers, already shaping what comes next. They are not waiting. Our women leaders in climate action reminds us that gender-responsive solutions are not a niche concern. They are central of how we build a just and sustainable future. To each of these Earth Care Guardians, your work matters. It matters more than you may sometimes feel when you are in the middle of it. Earlier this year, astronaut Christina Koch, speaking about the Artemis II mission, said, "We will always choose the Earth. We will always choose each other." I believe every person in this room tonight would say the same. Congratulations to our Earth Care Guardians, and thank you all for being here. I would request Ashwini ji to come on stage and give your wisdom.
Good evening. Honorable Chairperson, Ms. Sangeeta Jindal, Dr. Mashelkar sir, distinguished members of the jury, and Dr. Ajay Mathur, all the awardees, guests, ladies and gentlemen. A very, very warm good evening to all of you. It's a privilege to be here this evening at the Earth Care Awards 2026, a platform which is working since 2008. I think there are almost 12 editions of this initiative, and it's a powerful celebration of India's climate leadership and environmental innovation. I congratulate JSW Foundation and the Times of India Group for sustaining this initiative for all these years. Because climate change is not a debate anymore, it's a reality. It's a challenge which all of us have to face, and that challenge needs to be dealt with as an opportunity. And that opportunity would come by the various ideas which we propagate, the action, the collaborations. These are the three terms which are being used here even in the earlier speeches. And we need to recognize that this is a reality and we have to deal with it. And as part of that process of dealing with this reality and converting this challenge into opportunities, I think these kinds of initiatives which the Earth Care Award mechanism is providing, I think that is extremely commendable, and I congratulate both the stakeholders who have been doing it. I congratulate all those. The jury members have also been doing a fantastic job, and I think the tone is already set by Dr. Mashelkar sir, and all the jury members are basically taking it forward. I am now standing here as Municipal Commissioner of the Greater Mumbai, and when we talk about climate change, I need to put it in the context of Mumbai, while all other aspects will be deliberated here, and the awardees also will probably present different aspects of this challenge. But as far as Mumbai is concerned, Mumbai is a coastal megapolis of more than 12 million people living here. And we know how constrained Mumbai is from different sides. It's a linear city surrounded by ocean on all three sides. There is a coastal regulatory zone along the shore. There are mangroves along the shore. There is a national park sitting in this city in a limited landmass. And plus, there are so much of population in this city. So there is huge stress because of the limited landmass, and the ecosystem is very, very sensitive. And yet the city is the financial capital of India, so it has no other option but to move ahead and develop itself, redevelop itself, reinvent itself. But certainly because of these conditions and the geography in which Mumbai is surviving, there are climate risks, multiple climate risks, risks of rising sea levels, extreme rainfall events. If you see past 10 years data, because we keep preparing for the monsoon, we are having a review meeting tomorrow, and I was looking at the data. The events, these extreme weather events, the intensity, the number is also increasing, the intensity is increasing, the pattern of rainfall is changing, and the climate is certainly changing, and that's why these extreme rainfall events, urban heat on the other side, air pollution, water stress, all these challenges this city is facing. And at the same time, almost 50% population is living in slums. 35% population is living in flood-prone areas. So on one hand, we have to keep Mumbai moving. We can't allow the city to stop. But at the same time, we have to deal with these fragile aspects of the ecosystem, which are further, I would say, underlined by the challenges of climate change. Now, how do you deal with this situation? So in BMC, our approach to climate resilience rests on three pillars. First, the infrastructure which we are building should withstand the climate change. The urban ecosystems which we are having should also sustain, which has the buffer to sustain these shocks, and the communities which need to be prepared to deal with the climate change. And the cornerstone of this transformation is Mumbai's Climate Action Plan, which BMC prepared a couple of years back. And BMC, Mumbai Municipal Corporation, was the first local body which created this climate action plan. And there were many stakeholders, right from the then political leadership, with multiple non-profit organizations, urban planners, environmental experts. They were involved in preparing this climate action plan. And this climate action plan, basically what it did was we updated our greenhouse gas inventory and established a way, a mechanism to align ourselves with the global goal of 1.5 degrees Celsius temperature by focusing on 6 different areas and almost 24 action tracks which we created. And these 6 different areas include, which are the usual functions of municipal body, but sustainable waste management, managing the air quality index and improving the pollution scenario in the city, also ensuring sustainable public transport, and decarbonizing building, and the last but not the least, decarbonizing the electricity grid. So these multiple sectors were identified and BMC started working on it. Of course, many of these areas are not only in the purview of this municipal corporation, but other departments, other sectors, institutions are also involved. And that is where the role of collaboration comes, because only one entity is not responsible also, but at the same time, we need to ensure that that entity does his or her role in a perfect way. So MCAP, what we call, its mitigation strategy is anchored in ambitious targets, but at the same, because we have this net zero emissions we have to ensure that by 2050, that is the target which we kept for ourselves, while the country is talking about 2070, but when we prepared MCAP, that was the target kept. And then we kept some intermediate milestones, some of the emission standards which we could achieve by 2030. We charted a course for Mumbai's transition to this low carbon economy. Of course, it's not an easy path, but we have made an humble beginning. We have started working on our governance system as well as our municipal budget. And that's why earlier the municipal corporation in its mandatory duties and some discretionary duties, but environment or dealing with climate change is not part of that. Though it is there in the pieces that you have to deal with the solid waste management, you have to deal with sanitation management, but this word climate change or environment management is not part of the mandatory duties and discretionary duties which are laid down in Municipal Corporation Act. But now we have made it as part of our governance system. A separate environment department is set up and climate change department is set up in BMC. All our wards, we have 26 wards, the governance reaches up to the grassroots level. There also those departments are created, posts are created. So that is, of course, that is not enough, but at least we have recognized that this is a reality and we have to deal with it. Then we started working on the governance mechanism and how we can integrate our budgetary setup, budgetary system also to achieve the goals which we have set for ourselves. So we changed our the budgetary system, and for past couple of years, BMC is also publishing its climate budget. And this year also, on 5th June, we will be come up with our climate budget. Our estimation is if you say 2025-26 budget, whatever money we spent, out of that, almost 10,000 crore rupees was the capital expenditure which was targeted towards actions related to climate change. And as a result, because of that, for example, earlier our whatever sewerage system which we had, the sewerage network which we had, most of the times untreated sewage or very partially treated sewage was going in the sea, going in the water bodies. But now we have started working on all the modern and scientifically designed sanitation treatment projects which BMC has taken. So almost 2,500 MLD of sewage will be now getting treated. All these projects are getting completed in advanced stage. Earlier, some treatment used to happen, some modicum of treatment was present, but I wouldn't say that they were really focused on something which in a very, very scientific manner. These STPs will now treat almost 2500 MLD of sewage. Not only for the secondary treatment, but 50% of it will be treated for the tertiary treatment. And even we are thinking of even further 50% of getting treated further, which we can use even as drinking water. So we have understood that though water was abundantly available for the city of Mumbai because of the various irrigation projects surrounding the city in MMR region, water was coming to us with gravity. So that way we are very well endowed with these natural resources, but we can't depend on them because again the climate is changing, the stress and demand on the city is increasing. So that we have already taken up, that is happening. Flood management is another activity which BMC has doing for past many years. And gone are the days where earlier 2 to 3 days Mumbai used to get stopped because of heavy rains. Because the railway tracks getting underwater and the whole traffic coming to a standstill. For past many years, a lot of sustained efforts have been taken. Flood-prone areas have been identified, flood points have been identified, a systematic program has been undertaken. We have even created some underground tanks which can, because there are certain areas in Mumbai which are low-lying, and when there is extreme rain event coupled with high tide, then certain areas are bound to get flooded. But we have ensured that the duration of the flooding is very limited. Even the flooding, if you see the water level when the flood comes, that is also such that it doesn't damage the surrounding areas. Past 2 monsoons, we have also tried to ensure that the railway tracks are not flooded, except maybe a few hours in a day. So those actions are being taken. Of course, there is a lot of scope to improve ourselves further, but that is being done. Another important point is, again, the entire public transport system, rail-based public transport system is getting revamped. And even during monsoons, we have part of the metro network which is commissioned now, but those metros, including the underground metro, was operational even on the extreme weather days. So this new transport, the new infrastructure is basically climate resilient. It has the capacity to deal with these kinds of changes which we are experiencing on account of climate change. So that is another thing. While we are setting up the metro network, the last mile connectivity comes from the buses, and these buses, the electrification of the fleet, bus fleet, which is provided by BEST, that is also being undertaken. So public transport itself will contribute to our dealing with the climate change, and on top of it, if that public transport is based on the green transport, then that will further add to the benefits, and that is what BMC is trying to do. As part of the heat management strategy, multiple initiatives are being taken. More than 7 lakh square feet of our schools and other buildings, roofs are getting now painted with heat reflective colors, which will cool down and bring down the temperature. Rooftop solar projects are being taken for the BMC's own building, and a lot of encouragement is being given for the private buildings also. Lake rejuvenation program also we are taking up. There are 70 to 100 lakes throughout the city which are truly not seen because they are either encroached, they are not in good condition, so we are trying to rejuvenate them. Aquifer mapping in the Mithi influence zone is also happening. And all this is possible because we have started thinking of environment and climate change as a separate kind of department. Since we started doing that, all these new projects have come up. And the most important thing which we are doing is we are monitoring the air quality index. There are more than 3,000 construction sites in Mumbai, and almost all of them, 90 to 95% of them are now being monitored by BMC. There are stringent regulations which are put for them, stringent guidelines which are put for them. How should they manage the construction site? And AQI monitors are put there. They are being monitored through IoT devices. They are being monitored by BMC. There is a dashboard for that. And wherever we get some alarms, then the local team goes there. Again, everything is not ideal, but even that making the constructors aware that it is their social responsibility to manage their own site from the air quality point of view, that has happened in Mumbai, and that certainly people always crib about Mumbai's air, and every time that is a regular discussion which we have. But these attempts are being made, and that is certainly keeping things under control. Of course, again, a lot needs to be done. Apart from that, the bakeries which were otherwise using conventional fuel, they are now getting converted into green fuel. Crematoriums are getting converted into green fuel. So multiple activities are being taken up by BMC to ensure that our city is climate resilient and we are ready to deal with the challenges posed because of the climate change. But the most important thing is, I think we need to collaborate, because this is again it is not something which only a municipal body or a civic body will do. This is not something which only an academic institution can do, or it is not something which the forum like the Earthcare Awards can do. All of us have to come together. All of us have to play their own respective roles in this. For example, the municipal solid waste or the sewage, they themselves are major contributors to the problem which the city faces. Now, generally we have because since I have become a municipal commissioner, every day in the morning I get hundreds of messages which talk about some waste is lying here, some waste is lying here, this is not done, this road is not cleaned. Yes, BMC, every day we lift 7,000 million tons of municipal solid waste every day. Equal amount of construction debris are generated every day in the city, and we need to deal with them. The new municipal solid waste management rules talk about a shared responsibility. So it is not only the municipal body's responsibility, it is the bulk waste generators' responsibility as well. And who are the bulk waste generators? There are 2-3 parameters which are given, but one of the most important parameters is any entity which generates more than 100 kilograms of waste. And there are most of the housing societies will probably fall in that category. There are other parameters also, area more than 20,000 square meter and all. But the point is, and that the bulk waste generator has to dispose of the waste in a scientific way, which is laid down in the rules. And if they can't, and if somebody else has to do it, then they have to take responsibility for that, they have to pay for it. I think this is high time that we understand our responsibility in keeping our city clean, keeping our city clean of all these kinds of waste, because municipal body has certain limitations. When 50% population lives in slums, and even if we lift the garbage twice a day, but if people keep throwing the garbage every day. Yesterday only our social media posted a video when we were cleaning the nala. We take out a lot of things from these nalas, right from all kinds of furniture, sofas, beds. Yesterday we took out a auto rickshaw. There was a huge dustbin, very huge. And all kinds of things are thrown in the nalas. Can you imagine? And we keep on doing it. Every year we take out so much of silt from the nala, and this silt is nothing. It is not that some soil is getting eroded and came. It is all waste which the city keeps throwing in our own water bodies. And unless and until we find a solution, unless and until we discipline ourselves and everybody keeps a watch, because yes, municipal workers will keep coming and cleaning it, but we have to maintain our city like our own house. We clean our house once a day, maximum twice a day, but we don't keep throwing our waste in our house all the day. So that is something which we all need to do, and that is where the collaboration comes. The citizens need to come together. Non-profits or NGOs, they need to come together. We need to talk about this. We need to understand it. We can't just put responsibility on somebody else and think that everything will go smooth. So if we have to really make our city environmentally sound, resilient to climate change, and improve the livability of the city, we all need to come together, and that collaboration is very important. The collaboration of the policy makers, collaboration with administrators, responsible citizens, many housing societies, ALMs, educational institutions, scientists all need to come together. And I'm sure this kind of forums where they ensure that because of these awards, they ensure that all those who are trying to do something new, who are trying to innovate, we are trying to put forth new ideas, want to take action, want to change the policies, they are recognized on a platform like these awards. And that's why I thought when Sangeeta ji spoke to me about this, I think it must be my first or second public program since I have joined, because there is so much of work that it is really difficult to find time for these programs. But I thought this is something which I must attend, because it's everybody's responsibility, and I also take my share of responsibility in this whole activity. So I just want to tell you that BMC is already doing a lot, but I know that there is a lot more which needs to be done, and I seek all your guidance, help, suggestions, and your joining hands with us to make our city more livable, more exuberant, more resilient to climate change. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful for inviting me here and allowing me to speak to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Bhide. Ms. Ashwini Bhide, a 1995 batch IAS officer, made history as the first woman municipal commissioner of the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation. She is also known as Mumbai's Metro Woman for leading the first underground metro, the Aqua Line in Mumbai. Through her work in urban infrastructure, flood resilience, and civic development, she's helped shape a more future-ready Mumbai. In today's world of constant news and content, it is important to understand how it shapes our public conscience and awareness and the responsibility that comes with it. May I now invite Mr. Mohit Jain, Chief Operating Officer, Publishing and ED, to deliver the address on behalf of the Times of India.
We've had some wonderful conversations. Thank you, Sangeeta ji. Thank you, Ashwini ji. Good evening, distinguished guests, climate champions, and the friends of the earth. The earth has given humanity everything: air to breathe, water to drink, land to grow, and beauty beyond imagination. Across India, there are forests that survived for centuries, not because they were protected by law, but because communities chose to treat them as sacred. Sacred groves, preserved through faith, restraint, and collective responsibility, quietly became reservoirs of biodiversity long before conservation entered global vocabulary. For years, we behaved as though its resources were endless. And tonight, the world feels unusually fragile. As conflict escalates in Iran and geopolitical tremors, they ripple through continents, nations are confronting uncomfortable truths about energy dependence, resource insecurity, inflation, and the hidden cost of living without ecological balance. Even here in India, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has urged restraint and austerity in the face of global uncertainty, reminding us that conservation is no longer a merely environmental virtue, it is economic wisdom. And when nations begin speaking the language of austerity, the planet is quietly telling us something. That unchecked consumption eventually sends everyone the bill. And perhaps that is why evenings like this matter more than ever. Because climate change is no longer a distant warning whispered by scientists. It is visible in the flooded cities, burning forests, disappearing coastlines, failed crops, rising heat and anxious futures. The climate crisis is not arriving, it has already checked in. And yet, in the middle of this anxiety, there is hope. Hope in innovation, hope in action, and hope in people who refuse to look away. And which is why we gather tonight for the 13th edition of the JSW, the Times of India Earthcare Awards, now one of India's most respected platforms recognizing climate leadership and environmental action. A joint initiative between the JSW Group and the Times of India, these awards were built on a simple but urgent belief that those working to protect the planet, they deserve not just support, but the spotlight. At Times of India, we recognize the responsibility media carries in this journey. Newspapers do more than report history. They shape public conscience. And our commitment to sustainability goes beyond headlines. Through campaigns, conservations, editorials, and initiatives like these awards, we continue to amplify ideas and solutions that inspire responsible choices. And after all, awareness is the first renewable energy. This commitment has been shared by our visionary stakeholders. Times Evoke, conceptualized by Meera Jain, continues to awaken the nation's conscience on environmental issues. And while Trishla Jain inspired us to move beyond words into meaningful action, that vision led to impactful on-ground initiatives, such as the TOI Green Drive, Let Delhi Breathe, and many more. And tonight would not have been possible without the unwavering support of our partners at the JSW Group, and especially yourself, Mrs. Sangeeta Jindal, whose commitment to environmental and social causes continues to demonstrate that industry and sustainability do not have to stand on the opposite sides of the argument, And in a world where climate conservation often stops at intent, JSW has consistently chosen implementation. And for that, we offer our sincere gratitude. We are privileged, Ashmish, to have you with us today evening as the Municipal Commissioner of the BMC, and your presence reminds us that the cities sit at the front line of the climate adaptation and resilience. And some of the suggestions that you made are very, very powerful. So let tonight not end as applause within the four walls. Let it travel outward into the boardrooms, the classrooms, government, industries, and the homes. Because the greatest sustainability strategy is still the simplest one: to leave behind a world cleaner and greener than the one we inherited. Thank you, and welcome to the 13th JSW, the Times of India Earthcare Awards. Thank you so much.
I would request Mr. Jain to stay back with us on the stage. Yes, please. And now it's time to celebrate the change makers leading the way. And to do so, may I please invite Mrs. Sangeeta Jindal and Ms. Bhide to please join us on the stage. Each category reflects a critical environmental challenge, and each winner represents a powerful example of how action, collaboration, and purpose can drive meaningful climate solutions. So without further ado, let us celebrate the people and organizations building a greener and a more resilient future for all of us. Our first category is Green Business Titan. The 13th Earthcare Awards recognizes the Mahindra Group as the Green Business Titan for its long-standing commitment to sustainability, climate action, and inclusive growth across its diverse businesses. For over 8 decades, the group has worked to embed sustainability across sectors, ranging from automotive and farm equipment to technology, renewable energy, hospitality, logistics, and financial services. We also have a very special message from one of India's most respected business leaders, Mr. Anand Mahindra, chairman of Mahindra & Mahindra, a voice that has consistently championed innovation, purpose, and sustainable growth. Please turn your attention to the screen for a special video message from Mr. Anand Mahindra.
Thank you to the Earthcare Awards jury for this recognition. We accept it with gratitude and with a very deep sense of responsibility. There are many reasons for supporting sustainability: business reasons, national reasons, global reasons. But I have to admit that for me today, the strongest motivation is a personal one, because I now have 4 grandchildren. And though it may sound a bit like a cliche and perhaps a bit selfish even, I find myself thinking much more deeply about the kind of planet we will leave behind for them. At the Mahindra Group, sustainability has long been embedded in how we operate, from water positivity and renewable energy to our commitment to carbon neutrality by 2040. And even at a time when parts of the world appear to be stepping back from climate commitments, we remain clear. Sustainability isn't optional for us. It's a way of life. This recognition belongs to the many teams across the group who translate that belief into action every single day. And I'm especially delighted that Abanti Sankar Narayanan, our Chief Group Public Affairs Officer, and Suman Mishra, Chief Executive Officer of our Last Mile Mobility business, are receiving this award on behalf of the group. Both of them have been instrumental in advancing the group's sustainability agenda and integrating climate action into core business strategy. Thank you once again for this honor.
I would also like to request Ms. Suman Mishra, Managing Director and CEO, Mahindra Last Mile Mobility Limited, and Ms. Abanti Sankar Narayanan, Member, Group Executive Board and Head of Group Sustainability, to kindly come forward and receive the award. Mishra and Mrs. Sankar Narayanan, you can now take your seats. We'd love to hear a few words from you.
Thank you for this incredible honor. On behalf of the Mahindra Group and Sri Anand Mahindra and Dr. Anisha and Suman, my colleague here, truly privileged to receive this. The Mahindra Group is a purpose-driven group, and we believe that purpose drives profit, and nothing encompasses and reflects it as much as the two of us being on the stage together. I lead the sustainability function for the group, and Suman here leads our electrifying third mile mobility business thereby integrating sustainability into core business. And that's how we look at sustainability. It's an integral part of our group and of our businesses. Thank you so much.
Climate action becomes stronger when women lead from the front, bringing in perspective, resilience, and deep community connection. And now we turn to a category that celebrates exactly this spirit. Our next category, the Women Leader in Climate Action, honors women leaders who are driving meaningful environmental change through vision, resilience, and community action. The 13th Earth Care Awards recognizes Ms. Meera Chandran of Forest First Samiti for leading community-driven forest restoration and empowering tribal communities in the Western Ghats. May we please have the AV on the screen.
In the Western Ghats, invasive species like Senna spectabilis and Lantana camara are quietly weakening native forests, reducing biodiversity and disturbing wildlife habitats. Meera Chandran, co-founder and secretary of Forest First Samiti, left a 16-year career to dedicate herself to forest restoration. What began as a native species conservation effort on 8 acres has grown into a science-backed restoration model across Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary and Nagarahole Tiger Reserve. Her model has also been recognized by a Kerala High Court appointed expert committee for replication across Senna-affected forest divisions. By bringing together science, tribal livelihoods and forest restoration, Meera Chandran has shown how climate action can restore both ecosystems and community resilience.
To receive the award, please welcome Ms. Meera Chandran on the stage. We'd love to hear a few words from you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm truly honored to receive this and to be able to connect with so many people in the audience. I am really deeply gratitude to the tribal teams who are working on the ground, our restorers who are really toiling it on the ground, and the group of people who are experts. Anand is here. We have our trustees, Rajesh, Uma, and so many others who are making this possible at the operational level, and the Kerala and the Karnataka forest departments who have ensured that they give us all the ground support to make this possible, the restoration possible. Thank you so much. Thanks to the Earth Care teams.
Congratulations, Ms. Chandran. We'd now like to thank Ms. Ashwini Bide for joining us today and taking out time from her busy schedule to be here. Thank you so much. Can we request Mrs. Jindal to stay on stage, please? next category of award recognizes institutional leadership in climate action. This category recognizes institutions and governing bodies leading impactful work in climate resilience, sustainable resource management, and community-led environmental action. The winner in this category is Gram Panchayat Nanasa, recognized for its community-driven model for water security and groundwater recharge. May we have the AV, please?
Water scarcity in rural India rarely arrives as a crisis. It comes slowly through falling groundwater, drying wells, and crops that don't survive the season.
पानी की समस्या पहले बहुत थी हमको, कुएं से लाना पड़ता था, हेडपंप से लाना पड़ता था, वो भी बंद हो जाते थे।
इस भीषण जल समस्या को देखते हुए हमने ये तय किया कि भूमिगत स्तर जो है गांव का वो काफ़ी नीचे जा चुका है, जिस वजह से पीने का पानी और कृषि योग्य जल की उपयोगिता है वो बहुत कम हो चुकी है।
In Gram Panchayat Nanasa, a village of 5,000 people in Devas district, Madhya Pradesh, the community decided not to wait.
जब मैंने अपने गांव के तालाब और कुएं और बावड़ियों की साफ सफाई उनमें फावड़ा चलाया, तब मुझे लगा कि ये काम सरकार का नहीं है, अपना काम है।
Under the initiative Apna Jal Apna Gaon, Gram Panchayat Nanasa has spent 4 years rebuilding its relationship with water. Ponds have been renovated, step wells restored, check dams and percolation tanks constructed, and rainwater harvesting structures built across 1,880 hectares.
जल संवर्धन के अंतर्गत जो कार्यक्रम हुए हैं
उसके कारण नई टंकी भी बनी और अच्छा पानी आ रहा है।
और पीने लायक आ रहा है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं आ रही है, पानी समय से मिलता है हमें।
Nanasa is demonstrating what community-owned water management can look like when a village decides to act for itself.
To receive the award, may I invite the representative of Gram Panchayat Nanasa to kindly join us on the stage. Congratulations, and we'd love to hear a few words from you.
सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। मैं सरपंच रोहित तिवारी, ग्राम पंचायत ननासा, मध्य प्रदेश से। और अपना जल अपना गांव नाम से हमने एक इनिशिएटिव शुरू किया था मैम, जिसमें बारिश का पानी, घरों से निकलने वाला पानी और जो भूमिगत जल होता है उसको बचाकर, एक एक बूंद बचाकर प्रत्येक घर तक पीने के पानी के लिए पहुंचाना, घरेलू उपयोग के लिए पहुंचाना। और आज मुझे बड़ी खुशी है कि हमने लगभग ग्राउंड वाटर को 3 फीट तक ऊपर लेके आए हैं और इतनी गर्मी में भी पीने के पानी की कोई समस्या नहीं है। मैं अपने संपूर्ण गांव की ओर से आप सभी का JSW ग्रुप का और टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया ग्रुप का बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं। और एक स्पेशल बात कहता हूं कि हमने जो काम गांव में किया है, JSW और टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया की टीम गांव तक पहुंची और मध्य प्रदेश की 23,000 ग्राम पंचायतों की ओर से मैं आपका आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। और हम सब कोशिश करेंगे कि नेक्स्ट में भी इस तरह के अवार्ड अन्य पंचायतें यहाँ आने के लिए उत्सुक हो तो हम सब एक साथ मिलकर 23,000 गांव पर्यावरण के क्षेत्र में काम करेंगे, जिससे हम सबका काम और आसान हो जाएगा। वेरी स्पेशल थैंक्स मैम।
Thank you so much and congratulations. The jury has also decided to specially commend the Office of the Collector, Rajnandgaon, for its impactful work in restoring groundwater and supporting climate-resilient agriculture through strong district-level planning and implementation. May we have the AV, please?
In Rajnandgaon, district of Chhattisgarh, years of water-intensive farming had pushed groundwater to a breaking point.
2022 की सेंट्रल ग्राउंड वाटर बोर्ड की रिपोर्ट के अनुसार राजनांदगांव जिले के 3 ब्लॉक सेमी क्रिटिकल जोन में आ चुके थे। इसका इम्पैक्ट हमें दिखने लगा था, गर्मियों में पानी की समस्या आने लगी थी। इसके बचाव के लिए हमने मिशन जल रक्षा लॉन्च किया।
The mission combined GIS-based aquifer science with deep community participation to restore water across 662 villages.
मनरेगा के तहत पर्कुलेशन टैंक बनवाया है, इसमें इंजेक्शन वेल लगवाया है। बरसात का पूरा पानी, आसपास का पूरा पानी इंजेक्शन वेल में आता है। उसके थ्रू इंजेक्शन वेल में अंदर जाके पानी रिचार्ज होके बोर में जाता है। इसी बोर से हमारे गांव के पेय जरूरत का पानी का समस्या दूर हुआ है।
Over 51,000 recharge structures were built, including 2 homegrown innovations, defunct borewell recharge shafts and mini percolation tanks. But what makes this mission remarkable is who led it.
NGOs, industries, organizations, विभाग सारे लोग इस मिशन में जल आंदोलन के रूप में जुड़े और ये एक जन भागीदारी का बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल है।
हम लोग बरसात आने के पहले से हर हफ्ता पानी टंकी में जाकर वहाँ से पानी लाकर हम लोग पानी पीने योग्य है कि नहीं ये टेस्टिंग करते हैं।
Today, Rajnandgaon's groundwater has risen by over 2 meters. Farmers have shifted from paddy to vegetables, and a semi-critical district has earned the Ministry of Jal Shakti's top award for water conservation.
May I now request the representatives of the Office of Collector Rajnandgaon to please come up on the stage and receive the award. We'd love to hear a few words from you.
Good evening, everyone. I am Sheetal Bansal, Joint Collector. On behalf of District Administration Rajnandgaon, I would like to thank JWS and the Times of India team selecting us for this award. कुछ वर्षों में हमने कई चुनौतियों का सामना किया, जैसे ग्राउंड वाटर लेवल का नीचे जाना, हमारे जो परंपरागत जल स्रोत हैं उनका लगातार सूखना और हमारे जो ग्रामीण क्षेत्र हैं उनका पानी के टैंकरों पर निर्भरता का बढ़ना। इस सिचुएशन की गंभीरता को समझते हुए राजनांदगांव जिला प्रशासन ने सेव वाटर, रिचार्ज ग्राउंड वाटर एंड सिक्योर द फ्यूचर उद्देश्य के साथ मोर गांव मोर पानी अभियान के तहत मिशन जल रक्षा की शुरुआत की। अंडर दिस मिशन वी हैव अडॉप्टेड अ साइंटिफिक एंड इंटीग्रेटेड अप्रोच, रिच टू वैली अप्रोच एंड अ GIS planning. Ensuring that rainwater is harvested, stored and recharged systematically. इसके साथ ही हमने ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में 60,000 से अधिक वाटर स्टोरेज स्ट्रक्चर्स बनाए और इसमें सबसे बड़ी हमारी जो उपलब्धि रही वो ये थी कि हमने डिफंक्ड बोरवेल को रिचार्ज शाफ्ट में कन्वर्ट किया और साथ ही पर्कुलेशन टैंक बनाकर उसे इंजेक्शन वेल के माध्यम से ग्राउंड वाटर लेवल को बढ़ाया। इन सभी प्रयासों का परिणाम ये रहा कि आज राजनांदगांव जिला जो है वो औसतन 2 मीटर तक की ग्राउंड वाटर लेवल उसका बढ़ा है। साथ ही 70 लाख क्यूबिक मेट्रिक वाटर स्टोरेज कैपेसिटी ऐड हुई है और हमने 70% फसल चक्र परिवर्तन किया है, जिससे हमारा राजनांदगांव जिला जो है वो सेमी क्रिटिकल जोन से बाहर आया है। ये केवल एक उपलब्धि केवल प्रशासन की नहीं है, एक मजबूत हमारे नेतृत्व की, साथ ही विभिन्न विभागों से जो हमें समन्वय प्राप्त हुआ और ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों की जो भागीदारी, सक्रिय भागीदारी प्राप्त हुई है, उसका यह परिणाम है। इसके साथ ही हमारी स्थानीय पंचायतें, हमारी स्व सहायता समूह की दीदियाँ एवं फील्ड पर काम करने वाले अधिकारियों का मैं आभार व्यक्त करना चाहती हूँ, जिन्होंने इस अभियान को एक जन आंदोलन के रूप में बदल दिया। 2 पंक्तियों के साथ मैं अपनी वाणी को यहीं विराम देना चाहूँगी। प्यासी पक्षी, प्यासे पौधे, प्यासे हैं सब इंसान, पानी अगर खत्म हुआ तो मिट जाएगी हर पहचान। आज कसम यह खानी है, आज कसम यह खानी है कि पानी हमें बचाना है। आने वाली पीढ़ी को एक खुशहाल कल दे जाना है। थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you, Mr. Jain. We request you to take your seat. Request Mrs. Sangeeta Jindal to kindly stay with us on the stage, and request Dr. Mashelkar and Dr. Swaminathan to kindly come up on the stage to present the next set of awards. We now move to the next category, community-based climate action. When we talk about climate action, community is where it truly begins. This category recognizes grassroots initiatives using local knowledge and collective action to create sustainable climate solutions and lasting community impact. The jury faced a pleasant dilemma with many strong nominations, hence the decision to have multiple winners in this one category. The winner is Central Himalayan Rural Action Group, also known as Chirag, recognized for restoring Himalayan water sources through a science-backed, community-led spring shed management model. May we have the AV, please?
Across the Himalayas, natural springs are the primary source of water for over 50 million people. And for decades, they have been quietly disappearing, dried up not by drought, but by deforested, degraded hillsides that can no longer hold enough rainwater to feed them.
बारिश पड़ती है, पानी सूख जाता है नौलों में, काफ़ी दिक्कत होती है, उधर-उधर भटकना पड़ता है पानी के लिए.
We noticed that most of the Himalayan springs were drying up. The springs which were earlier perennial were becoming very seasonal, and realized that just tapping the spring was not the solution, but recharging them upstream was the main solution.
Chirag, Central Himalayan Rural Action Group, has spent 3 decades working to reverse this. Their approach begins not at the spring, but above it.
It's always a challenge explaining communities that the solution to their drying springs is somewhere in the recharge zone that falls in the upper part of the spring, and often also falling in some another village.
Through spring shed mapping, percolation pits, contour trenches and large-scale reforestation, Chirag restores the conditions that allow rainfall to percolate back into the earth and re-emerge as a living spring. What sets Chirag apart is the para-hydrogeologist program, village-level water scientists trained from within the community.
चिराग संस्था के द्वारा जो भी कार्य यहाँ पर किया गया है, हमें उससे जो है पानी पीने में भी काफ़ी सहूलियत हो रही है और आने जाने राहगीरों को, पर्यटकों को उससे भी उसको फायदा मिल रहा है.
Chirag's spring shed management model is now a recognized approach to Himalayan water security, one that puts the community at the center of every solution.
To receive the award, may I invite the representatives of Chirag on stage, please. Congratulations. Congratulations, and we would love to hear a few words from you.
Namaskar and good evening. A big thanks to JSW and Times of India for recognizing the work we have done. And I am privileged to have Mr. Suren Negi, who is one of the pioneers in the spring shed approach in the country, and Abhishek, who has taken it forward with technological advancement and integrating it, and all my staff who has relentlessly worked for past 4 decades to achieving this. Thank you all for being here. And this, I think, would take and help us in scaling the initiative throughout the Himalayas for sustainable groundwater in the country. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Our next recognition goes to Nirman for empowering tribal forest-dependent communities to secure legal tenure under the Forest Rights Act. May we have the AV, please?
In Orissa's forest fringe villages, forests are tied to food, livelihood, culture and identity for Adivasi communities.
But over a period of time, their custom rights was not recognized, and they have been restricted from accessing the forest.
But unclear tenure, forest fires and degradation left both communities and biodiversity vulnerable.
आमे समस्ते ए गाढ़ फॉरेस्ट विभिन्न प्रकार समस्या को बहुत डर लगता है से डर को घोचिया पाए आज समस्ते आमे एकता होई आज आमर एते दृढ़ एकता आसिला समस्ते मेल होई से दूरटा घोचिया पाए
2019 when Nirman intervened this area, basically we see that this community can be mobilized, can be make them aware about the tenure rights, which the Forest Rights Act clearly says.
Nirman supports villages to file community forest resource rights claims, map forest boundaries, prepare management plans, and strengthen the Gram Sabha Samuha, a federation of forest protecting villages.
Everything is being done by this Gram Sabha, which has taken a lead role in the forest conservation management, forest fire control, and also wildlife conservation.
Over 1,350 households, most of them marginalized, Kund tribal families, have benefited directly.
जीवजंतु माने जो एठू उभे जाइथिले पुनी ए ग्रामवासी द्वारा सहयोग द्वारा ग्राम सभा समूहर एवं ग्राम सभा द्वारा पुनी से पक्षी माने बर्तन आसिक जंगल में बास कलेनी एवं लोक मानक भितर गोटे एते साहस होउची जा फरे गोष्ठी जंगल माध्यम रे तांकर साहस को मनोवृत्ति की अधिक अधिक करछि जो गाँव रे लोक सरकार ऊपर निर्भर करथे जंगल निया को निभाय पई वे गाँ लोक माने निजे जाय की निजर परिश्रम फल रे जंगल गायत करि पारुछंती सबुठु बड़ जिनसडा हेछि.
For Nirman, climate action begins with trust in local people.
To receive the award, may I invite the representative of Nirman on stage, please. Congratulations. Congratulations, and we would love to hear a few words from you.
Very good evening. all dignitaries and ladies and gentlemen. And it is a great honor for Nirma and a great recognition to the village communities with whom we work for the conservations and climate actions. And basically there is a lot of tribal communities which stay close to the forest and with a little support and little awareness, they have done wonders. Like around 172 villages, they are doing forest conservations, and they have revived, restored degraded forest, which is coming around 27,000 hectares of area. So it is a great changes they have done at the ground, and it is a truly recognition to those village tribal and forest dwelling communities. And thank you so much. Thank you so much to JSW and Times of India and Madam and all the jury members. Those have recognized us, and it is truly recognizing the work of the communities. Thank you all. Namaste.
Congratulations. The next award goes to Himmathan Society for strengthening livelihoods and climate resilience in fragile Himalayan regions through its work on water security, sustainable agriculture, and community resilience. May we have the AV, please?
In the central Himalayas, two things have always defined whether a mountain household survives a hard year: water and fodder.
पहले तो हमें बहुत सारी कठिनाइयाँ आती थी, जैसे चारा पत्ती पशुओं के लिए इकट्ठा करने के लिए हमें बहुत दूर जाना पड़ता था।
खेतों में जाते थे, उस समय भी हम पानी लेने जाए, पानी भर के आधे रास्ते में रख दिया। जब खेतों से काम करके आते थे तो उस पानी को भी लाते थे साथ में।
Himmathan Society has spent over 2 decades working with communities across Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh and Ladakh on exactly this.
We're providing them additional water through their traditional system and artificial glacier. So that is increasing their productivity at the field level, or at the same time improving their quality of life through the additional income.
समूह के माध्यम से हमने कई बार हमें ट्रेनिंग मिली है, जैसे खेतीबाड़ी से लेकर पशुपालन के ट्रीटमेंट, जैसे अच्छी दवाई वगैरह, कैसा चारा खिलाना है, उसमें भी मतलब हमें ट्रेनिंग मिली है।
Through their spring shed management initiative, Himmathan is addressing one of the quietest water crises in India.
Under our integrated spring set management program, we follow a springs to livelihood approach, where we connect this spring water to any livelihood activities. Once we exit from the village, the community will manage their spring resources on their own.
Alongside, the Central Himalayan Livestock Initiative, CHLI, is rebuilding the fodder systems that mountain communities depend on.
पशुओं में ये है कि उनके दूध में वृद्धि हुई है, उनका पालन पोषण अच्छे से हो रहा है, जैसे उनको हरा चारा मिल रहा है, पानी टाइम पे मिल रहा है।
चम्मा में हमने डेयरी खोली है, वहाँ पे हमने 20 लीटर दूध से हमने शुरू किया है। आज हमारे पास 200 लीटर दूध हम वहाँ पर बेचते हैं।
Their approach is grounded in one belief: solutions that communities don't own don't last.
To receive the award, may I invite the representatives of Himmathan Society to kindly join us on the stage. Congratulations, Himmathan Society. We would love to hear a few words from you.
First of all, good evening to everyone, and thank you very much, JSW and TOI, for giving this award to us. And as Himothan Society is an associate organization of Tata Trust, and we have been working in Central and Western Himalayan region for almost 20 years. And as you just seen just right, our approach is basically integrated. And water is one of the very prominent, and especially like, you know, more than 94% water is coming from the springs and the forest from, especially in the, you know, central Himalayan region. And how to protect it, and when the water has been increased, how to use it for, you know, additional livelihood activity. This is what we are trying to walk around all this Uttarakhand, Himachal, Ladakh region. And especially in Ladakh, I mean, the artificial glacier is the one where we just kind of integrate it into their traditional methods, zinc and ura. And then they are using that additional water for improving their livelihoods and all. This has been well documented and well received in various, and now we are scaling it to the different location. And surely this award will help us to just kind of, you know, motivate our field team also just and work very rigorously for improving the quality of life of the rural Himalayan people. Thank you very much once again for this award. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, and it's wonderful to know about your work. May I now request Dr. Soumya Swaminathan and Dr. Mashilkar to take their seat, and request Mr. Rajat Gupta and Mr. Surinder Chawla to join us on the stage for the next set of awards. We now move to the next category, Emerging Businesses in Climate Action, which recognizes enterprises creating innovative and scalable solutions to tackle environmental challenges while driving industrial change. Our winner in this category is Minimax Systems Private Limited, recognized for developing a scalable lubricant reconditioning system that reduces industrial waste and promotes circular resource use. May we have the AV, please?
Every industrial machine runs on oil, and every year, millions of liters of that oil are simply thrown away, generating hazardous waste and driving the extraction and refining of fresh oil all over again.
Honestly, firstly, we thought oil was just a consumable. You buy it, you use it, and then you get rid of it. This keeps repeating every month. We have seen the reduced oil quantity consumption, reduced breakdowns, as well as reduced CO2e emissions.
Minimax Systems, founded in 2012 and headquartered in Pune, saw this cycle as a climate problem, hiding in plain sight.
15 million metric tons is the total carbon dioxide emissions which is generated just by India annually on account of improper disposal and improper lubricant management in the industrial lubricant sector. And that's why Minimac was incorporated with a vision to abate 860 gigagrams of carbon dioxide on account of emissions formed because of industrial lubricants.
Through its circularity framework spanning nano, micro and macro circularity, Minimax advanced purification, dehydration and oil reconditioning technologies extend lubricant life 3 to 5 times beyond conventional replacement cycles. The same oil that would have been discharged keeps powering the plant.
At Minimac, we have recycled more than 14 million liters of lubricants, and thereby we have diverted that entire emission of around 75 gigagrams of carbon dioxide.
Saving in CO2 emissions is the need of the hour today.
For industries that have long treated lubrication as a maintenance cost, Minimac is turning it into a measurable climate contribution.
To receive the award, may I invite the founder of Minimax Systems Private Limited to kindly join us on the stage. Congratulations, Minimax Systems Private Limited. We would love to hear a few words from the founder.
Thank you. Well, I feel like the king of the green world, as SRK said once. I can see a lot of college students out here. This is for you guys, why this was a college project 20 years ago. And today what you see is a mission getting accomplished day by day, plant by plant, through a lot of belief by our customers, by potential investors, and certainly by the change makers like the JSW Foundation and Times of India Group, who have validated our belief in lubricant life cycle management through circular economy. I would certainly like to thank my gurus at ISM Dhanbad, my mentors at Tata Motors, my first organization, where I left the job after watching another Bollywood movie, Guru, and started believing that I could do something around this sector. Of course, I would like to thank all those teammates of Minimax Systems who worked for us all these years, who are working for us, and who would be working for us in the future as well. There are difficult times when you're working for something like lubricant life cycle management, like recycling, where you're challenging the status quo, where you have a lot of resistances. It's a roller coaster life, believe me. COVID was certainly a big resistance on our path. We faced a lot, to an extent that probably few days I had lost the hope. I had lost the hope to also decide upon leaving it away, getting acquired. At that time, I still remember my 7-year-old daughter said, "Papa mat becho. Don't do that. Run it for another 10 years. I'll handle it after that." So this is for my daughter, Kiara. Thank you.
Congratulations, and your achievement is definitely inspiring for all the young minds seated in the audience. Stories have the power to make people care, connect, and act. And in the climate conversation, that power has never been more important. This year, the EarthCare Awards proudly introduces a new category, Communicators for Climate Action. Now, this category recognizes individuals and organizations using journalism, media, and storytelling to bring climate issues closer to people and inspire meaningful change. The 13th EarthCare Awards recognizes Monga Bay, India, for impactful environmental journalism and climate storytelling across diverse audiences. May we have the AV, please?
Climate change is not just a science story. It is a story of forests, rivers, cities, livelihoods, species, and the communities living closest to ecological change. Monga Bay, India tells these stories with rigor, independence, and depth. Through open access reporting in English and Hindi, it brings environmental science and conservation journalism to a wide audience, from policymakers and researchers to civil society and citizens. Its work goes beyond articles. Through features, podcasts, videos, and field-based storytelling, Monga Bay, India makes complex environmental issues accessible while amplifying voices from India's conservation frontlines. By connecting evidence with human stories, Monga Bay, India has helped build public understanding around climate, biodiversity, pollution, and ecological change. The 13th EarthCare Awards recognizes Monga Bay, India for showing how independent journalism can inform, engage, and create real-world impact for climate action.
To receive the award, may I invite the team Monga Bay, India to kindly come up on the stage. Congratulations, Team Mongo Bay, India. We'd love to hear a few words from you.
Good evening. I got this written because otherwise I won't stick to the half minute allotted to me. My name is Gopi Varya. I'm the editorial director of Mongo Bay, India. My colleagues Karthik Chandramoli, all the wonderful videos you see, he leads the team. And Soumitra Shinde, the social media, all the Instagram, all that you see, Soumitra leads the team. We at Mongo Bay, India are honored and privileged to receive the 13th Earth Care Award under the Communicators for Climate Action category. Thank you to the organizers of this award and the members of the eminent jury for selecting us as the first recipient of this new category. It is particularly rewarding that we get the first award in this new category, but we stand on the shoulders of all the great individuals and organizations who have won Earth Care Awards since 2008. Mongo Bay India started publishing in January 2018 to tell the story of India's biodiversity conservation, environment, and climate change. We have been doing it through 2 languages, English and Hindi, and through multiple channels, text, video, graphics, podcasts, data stories, etc. Climate change is perhaps the biggest happening story in India at present. Multiple studies indicate that South Asia will be the theater of climate change in the coming years and decades. Situated at the core of this region with its diverse ecosystems, India will be at the heart of this process. Every heat wave is going to be hotter than the previous ones. Every drought and flood will be more severe than the past one. Journalism and communication will play an increasingly important role in preventing, dealing with, and adapting to these changes and building resilient communities, both urban and rural. Of need is storytelling that neither exaggerates nor underplays, neither romanticizes nor poo-poos traditional and modern knowledge systems, and is supported by research-backed evidence. I am confident that this Earth Care Award will encourage many more institutions and individuals to continue communicating for climate action. For us at Mongo Bay, India, this award will encourage us to continue our work with renewed vigor. I dedicate this award to the 15-member Mongo Bay, India team working from different parts of India. Thank you again for the honor.
Congratulations, Team Mongo Bay, India. And thank you for bringing out stories that matter. May I now request Mr. Rajat Gupta and Mr. Surinder Chawla to take their seats, please. And for this important category of young climate champions, we now welcome the chair of the jury, Dr. Ajay Mathur, to kindly join Mrs. Jindal on the stage to present the awards to the young champions. The future of climate action depends on young people who are not waiting for change, but creating it. And that is exactly what the Young Climate Champions program celebrates. Before we announce this year's winners, let's take a look at the incredible journey of this program across 28 states and 3 union territories. May we have the AV, please?
The 13th Earth Care Awards proudly returned with the Young Climate Champions program for the 2nd consecutive year after an overwhelming response to its inaugural edition. This year, the movement grew bigger than ever before, reaching across 25 states and 3 union territories, engaging more than 350 educational institutions nationwide. Over 25,000 students participated directly through workshops, webinars, presentations, and institutional engagements. From classrooms to communities, from ideas to impact, India's youth came forward with powerful climate solutions. Solutions emerged across 6 critical climate themes. The Young Climate Champions program continues to prove one powerful truth. The future of climate leadership is already here. And it is young, innovative, fearless, and determined to build a climate-resilient India. Celebrating youth, inspiring climate action.
And now it's time to recognize our young climate champions, the young innovators and change makers responding to some of the world's biggest climate changes with ideas, action, and hope. We request all the winners to stay back till the end. When the air needed help, Rinku Pal stepped in with the Vayu Veer program, tackling waste management and indoor air pollution. We welcome Rinku Pal on the stage. Congratulations.
I believe every young person is a change maker. Do you agree? जब मुझे पता चला कि मैं अर्थ केयर अवार्ड के लिए सेलेक्ट हो गया, एक्चुअली आई वाज वेरी एक्साइटेड, क्योंकि जब हम कम्युनिटी में काम करने जाते थे इतनी डांट पड़ती थी कि सारा कॉन्फिडेंस नीचे हो जाता था। इतनी सारी डांट खाकर आज यहाँ पहुँचा हूँ, काफ़ी खुश हूँ। और इसके लिए मैं JSW टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया अर्थ केयर अवार्ड 2026 का धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूँ कि नॉमिनेट करने के लिए। मेरा नाम रिंकू पाल है, मैं जमशेदपुर से आया हूँ, झारखंड, और हम जमशेदपुर में हवा प्रदूषण को लेकर काम करते हैं। वायुवीर करके हम एक मुहिम चला रहे हैं जो कि जमशेदपुर में एक नई पहल शुरू की है। इसकी शुरुआत 2023 में 7 सितंबर को रखी गई थी। आदर्श सेवा संस्थान एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जमशेदपुर की, और असर बेंगलोर ने इसकी शुरुआत की थी। और मुझे अभी भी याद है कि मैं उस समय पहला वायुवीर था और मैंने इसकी शुरुआत की थी, और अभी भी मैं टीम को लीड कर रहा हूँ। साथ ही हम जमशेदपुर में अलग अलग गतिविधियों के माध्यम से लोगों को जागरूक करते हैं, एयर पोल्यूशन के बारे में समझाते हैं, और सरकारी अधिकारियों के सामने कुछ डिमांड्स भी रखते हैं। और हमारा अचीवमेंट तो वैसे भी बहुत ज़्यादा है, लेकिन एक सबसे बड़ा अचीवमेंट है कि हम एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन बॉडी और मीडिया हाउस का कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग कर पाए हैं। और इसी के साथ ही मैं अपनी बातों को विराम देना चाहता हूँ। थैंक यू।
Congratulations, and we definitely need more Vayu Veers like you in the country. When pollinators began disappearing, Jhansi Bhupendra Pulla stepped in with the Pollinator Highway Initiative, supporting biodiversity restoration and climate resilience. Congratulations, Ms. Chassi, and we would love to hear a few words from you.
A very warm evening to one and all present over here. My name is Jhansi Bhupendra Pula. Thank you JSW Times of India Earth Care Awards 2026 to recognize me. Well, let me start with few lines I have written. Every silent goodbyes from the nature begins with the disappearing habitats. A silent farewell written in fading flowers, vanishing ecosystems, and a quite tiny loss of our pollinator partners who once left our life blooming. Well, we always notice nature when something blooms very beautifully, but we rarely notice something disappears silently. Pollinators are one of the major sources because what they does is, they help us for our food. If pollinators do not exist or they lose or they go away from us, what will happen is we will lose the colors surrounded by us. Second thing, the food we eat today is because of pollinators. And I know we can do artificial pollination, but the natural and the nature one is one that we prefer. Then second thing is the forest. If there is no forest, no life exists, right? Thank you so much for recognizing me.
Thank you so much and congratulations on your achievement. When renewable energy needed smarter systems, Arnav Garg stepped in with an AI-enabled smart grid intelligence platform for renewable energy integration. We welcome Arnav Garg on the stage to receive the award. Congratulations, Arnav, and we would love to know what led you to start this.
Very good evening to everyone. My name is Arnav Garg. I'm a third-year energy science student from IIT Delhi. And first of all, I would like to thank JSW and Times of India for this incredible honor. This really means a lot to me because working in the shadows is one thing, but recognition is something that actually boosts you and actually makes you take step a bit further. And apart from that, I would like to thank my mentors. I would like to thank my professors who are part of my project. And my project, I call it Power NXT. It is essentially an AI-enabled system that helps in smarter energy procurement. And because we understand that renewables are no longer the future, we already have renewables here. What we need is a smarter grid, a system that can capture that renewable energy and actually make our grid future ready. And thank you again for this honor, and I hope I can live up to this someday. Well done.
Congratulations and thank you for reminding us for the need of smarter systems. When climate risks began threatening public health, Haridra Bora stepped in with climate-sensitive health risk mapping to strengthen disease resilience and early warning systems. We welcome Ms. Haridra on the stage, please. Congratulations, Ms. Bora. Please do share a few words with us.
Good evening to everyone. At the very onset, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to the group of JSW and the Times of India for recognizing my work. But I believe that behind every recognition, there are some people who always leave behind the spotlight. And I would like to dedicate this to the community health workers of my district, Golaghat, situated in Assam. And I started this project on the advice of my supervisor and mentor, Professor Bashravi Gupta. Climate change has been very real, but I come from the district which is very vulnerable to mosquito-borne diseases. And on the advice of her, I actually started looking beyond the lens of hardcore biomedicine and tried to understand it from a very geographical syndemic risk perspective, and then design early predictive models. And 3 other people that I really would like to thank are my mother, Madhusmita Saikia, my sister Ananya, and definitely my father, who is not only my father, but also the co-authors of my papers, all my publications, and all my research work, Dr. Rubul Bora. And thank you so much. Thank you again.
Congratulations, Ms. Bora, and all the very best for your work. When waste needed a second life, T.K. Devanarayanan stepped in with a circular biorefinery model converting waste into renewable energy and bioproducts. We welcome Mr. T.K. Devanarayanan on the stage. Congratulations, and please do share a few words with the audience.
Good evening, all. I'm Devanarayanan, a chemical engineering student from NIT Calicut, and my ambition is to develop sustainable solutions to chemical process system problems. With this motive only, I am working on the project of meat waste processing unit, and in the meat waste processing unit, my aim is to collect all kind of poultry waste and convert into value-added products like bioplastic, biogrease, biodiesel, like that. And with this circular economy model, we are trying to address the societal problems like stray dog attack, then the disposal of meat waste and garbage dumping. So these all public problems we are trying to address with this meat waste processing unit. And standing in this stage, I want to express my sincere gratitude to Times of India and JSW for providing me this wonderful opportunity and recognition. Also, I want to mention my guide, Dr. Yogesh Kumar from NIT Calicut, who is supporting me in working on this project. Thank you.
Congratulations, and thank you for inspiring all of us to do our bit. When clean water solutions became more urgent, Arpit Kumar stepped in with innovations in sustainable water purification and heavy metal removal. We welcome Mr. Arpit Kumar on stage. Congratulations, Mr. Arpit, and we would love to hear a few words from you.
So, good evening, everyone. So, myself, Avijit, actually, Arpit is my colleague and also my brother. Because of exams, you know, all of students are there, so our end semester exams are going on. Because of that, he's not here. So, let me just tell you that we are a group of students. Recently, we are incubated at Municipal, MIT. So we are working on a solution to provide filtration technology, clean and sustainable filtration technology to remove arsenic from groundwater. Arsenic is a deadly mineral that is naturally found in groundwater. Because of water crisis, it is now a burning issue in severe districts. Across India, there is more than 200 districts that are severely affected from it. Imagine just drinking water can cause you cancer. So it's a serious health issue, especially in our hometown from where I am, Bihar, Patna. So from last 5 years, we are working on this solution. And now this year, we are like into a stage of commercial production. And also we have identified more than 125 habitats and schools that needed these kinds of water filtration solution. So once again, for JSW and Times of India recognizing our work, we are truly honored and grateful. Thank you.
Congratulations. And when campuses needed to lead by example, Rajalakshmi Institute of Technology stepped in by building a climate-resilient campus through sustainable infrastructure, renewable energy, and strong environmental leadership. We welcome the representative of the Institute on the stage to receive the award.
Good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Kanak Kalita, and on behalf of Rajalakshmi Institute of Technology, Chennai, I thank the JSW and the Times of India for recognizing us in this 13th Art Care Awards. We at Rajalakshmi Institute of Technology, we are a relatively young institute situated in the heartland of Chennai, and we are trying to tackle this problem of climate change and sustainability in multifaceted way. From our researchers who are sweating it out in the lab, who are working day and night to find solutions on different kind of technologies, to actual implementations that we are doing in the campuses. For example, we are working on building solar systems, building renewable systems, at the same time sewage treatments, everything. We are working on all of them. So all of this, it feels great to be recognized by the JSW and the Times of India group at a national level, and we hope that we continue to scale what we are doing and we continue to make the country proud. Thank you.
Congratulations. May I now request Dr. Ajay Mathur to take your seat, please. Now I'd like to shift your focus from awards to art. We have among us a sculptor who focuses on sustainability, turning waste materials into powerful artworks. Mr. Prashant Pandey's work explores ideas of social memory, rituals, and changing values. He uses materials like marble waste, cigarette butts, blood slides, industrial scrap, and organic leftovers, and whatnot. May I request Mrs. Sangeeta Jindal to felicitate Mr. Prashant Pandey for his wonderful work. May I now request Mr. Prashant to share his thoughts and inspiration behind his art installations, please.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So it's my honor that I'm over here with you all. You all are visionary over here to save our earth. So guys, when you enter in this hall, you have come under over 3 lakh discarded cigarette butts. And these are in the form of leaves. So these are floating, resting, and falling. So you can see over in the hall and at the garden area. So I just grown up with a family of sculptors where we are making deities and statues. And with this leftover ideas, I was more fascinated with playing this waste. कि क्या होता है उस वेस्ट का जब वो निकल के बाहर आता है और स्कल्पचर बन जाता है, और I felt that it's also the blessings. So that's how I, search in every material. This cigarette butts, I have, you can see in and out everywhere in the world. So I am working with this project from last 5 years for this specially called biography. So this, you can have the beautiful shadow over here for sustainability and how I can transform waste into the wealth. And I thank you JSW Foundation, thank you Times of India, thank you Mrs. Jindal and Reema and Amit. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And may I request Mrs. Sangeeta Jindal to please take her seat. May I now invite Ms. Rupa Davane from JSW Foundation to take the event forward. Thank you. I'm leaving this.
Good evening, all. This is such a difficult, responsibility that has now been given to us. Today marks a special milestone as we celebrate the 13th edition of the EarthCare Awards. Over a decade of recognizing ideas, leadership, and action for sustainability in India. This year also marks a special transition as the chair jury, Dr. Mashelkar, now hands over the baton to Dr. Ajay Mathur. So we would really like to hear what all the current jury and our eminent advisor as Dr. Mashelkar, what he has to say. Can I please invite our existing jury members? We only have 3 jury members here today. The others couldn't join us. Can I invite Dr. Ajay Mathur, Dr. Soumya, Swaminathan and Rajat to be on the stage, please? Dr. Mashelkar, can you please join us? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I request all of you all to take one mic each. As the awards enter a new chapter, this jury conversation brings together seasoned experience and fresh perspectives for a sharp, engaging exchange on climate action, innovation, and the future of sustainability. The collective wisdom here, oh my God, it's like, oh, I'm sure all of you all are feeling the pressure. Imagine what's going on for me. So I'm going to do a quick round. Dr. Mashelkar, we would like to hear from you. As you pass on the baton to Dr. Mathur and welcome a new generation of jury members, what is that one belief or guiding thought you hope will continue to define the spirit of EarthCare Awards?
Well, to start with, innovation is doing things differently. All right? So I'm going to start differently because this is a very special occasion, by the way. We have Soumya Swaminathan getting elected as a Fellow of Royal Society. This is a great special honor. In 365 years of history of Royal Society, she's only the second woman scientist from India to have been elected. And equally importantly, but more importantly, Professor M.S. Swaminathan, her Bharat Ratna, Professor M.S. Swaminathan, the regent, he was FRS, she is FRS. This is the first time ever from India that a father and a daughter duo has become Fellows of Royal Society. And there is a third thing, normally private conversations are not disclose, but I can't help it, me being what I am. I was just telling her that when you become a fellow of Royal Society, there's something special you do. And I told her about my experience in 1998. So you sign in the book in which Newton has signed, Einstein has signed, and all that. Okay, and you do it in the same way that they did, by the way, ink pot and the rest of it, not ballpoint pen. And they make you practice. And you are allowed to see any one signature, by the way. And I told her I saw Newton's, whose signature you are going to see. She said, not Newton, not Einstein, I will see my father's signature.
Wow.
Very, very proud. Very proud. So thank you very much. Now, coming back to the decade gone by, and if I look at my own experience, first of all, I say that I had a fantastic jury. They did all the work, including you, and I took all the credit, very frankly. So, first of all, thank you for being such a fantastic jury. The second, what I experienced was that climate change is done because of human activities, but it is again human intellect, human imagination, human desire that is going to make the change. That's the first thing I saw. Second, we witnessed was this issue of innovation, compassion, passion coming together. Passion and perseverance, but all with a big purpose, by the way. In all the awards that we saw, there was a big purpose that was being chased, that the second. And the most redeeming feature of that, of those 10 years, very frankly, the way we actually expanded the scope by getting more and more stakeholders. You saw some of the greatest applause was to the young people today. We got them. And Sangeeta, I must give you credit for pushing us all the time to think of the women participation, for example, getting it done and so on and so forth, etc. So it has been very dynamic, I would say, as far as these awards are concerned. They have this special brand, so as to say. Earthcare Awards are very, very special.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, of course, it brings me to the new chair jury. So, Dr. Mathur, I'm going to ask you, as the new jury chair, what stood out to you most about this year's ECA and the diversity of climate solutions emerging from across India?
I think there are three kinds of things, or at least two kinds of things, maybe a third as well. The first is the sheer scale. The number of unnamed persons who come out of every nook and corner of the country surprised us. So you saw that in some categories we recognized as many as 3 people, 3 institutions to get the awards. So the first issue that I would like to focus on is the diversity of the applicants. The second is that what I realize is that the vast numbers of people who are applying are doing it out of voluntary persuasion.
Yes.
And I think it's important. Ashwini Bide was here earlier in the evening. It would be important if we are able to get some kind of mandatory role for particularly industries to participate, to provide resources for these kinds of efforts. I think it would help us tremendously in enhancing the messages that are brought out to the people. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, Samya, it's your turn. As a new member of the Earthcare Award jury, what impressed you most about the selection process?
Thank you, and it's been a great experience being a part of the jury. I think what I was really impressed by, one, was a very professional way in which the applications had been screened, and the shortlist that was brought to the jury was of such high quality and caliber that I think the jury had a very tough time, frankly, making the final choice. And what inspired me really was the fact that, we often get very bogged down or depressed by the scale of the problem when we think and when we see the images in the media today of what climate change and biodiversity loss and pollution, the triple planetary crises, as we say, and we feel that there's nothing that we can do. But when you see these examples, you feel there are people doing it. Of course, there's much more to be done, but this gives you hope. So I was left with a lot of hope at the end of the process.
Thank you so much for the encouraging words. And now Rajat, since you're a seasoned member of the Earthcare jury now, having witnessed the evolution of the ECA over so many years, how do you see India's sustainability landscape influencing India's economic transformation going ahead?
I think it's a good question. It is influencing it very strongly already. And I'll speak from a decarbonization part of sustainability, which is, of course, a very small part of the overall sustainability landscape. But if you look at new industries that are being created around this, like the renewables industry, where we invest $20–25 billion a year from zero, almost 10–15 years ago, or if you take bioethanol, where we've gone to 10%, going to 20, potentially to 100, as a substitute for liquid fuels for transportation, or we see electrification of transportation, electrification of other kinds of mobility. So I think there are large industries, or if you look at battery, for example, right? So there are large industries that are being created on the back of this trend. And of course, it has to be supported by regulations on the one hand, technology on the other, and scaling third.
Thank you so much. When it's like, there's a full congregation of scientists and jury and innovators, and it all becomes a very serious matter. I just want to add a little bit of fun element in this. If each one of you has to describe ECA as a journey or as a moment, what would you have to say? One word, please, with Soumya.
Inspiration.
Thank you. Dr. Mashelkar.
Inspiration.
Thank you. Dr. Mathur.
One word?
Yes, please. I know.
Humility.
Thank you.
For me, it's learning.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, dear jury. Thank you for making it fun for all of us. And of course, most difficult. Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm doing things differently.
No.
One thing I want to say is that your success, and you were very kind to show that smart film, how successful you have been depends upon your successor.
Yes.
I want to say, and I'm repeating it, he will be 10 times better than me. I was a student of climate change. He is a guru of climate change.
Wow.
Because if you see, heading Terry, the Solar Alliance, Prime Minister's Climate Action Committee and the rest of it, etc., he's the real guru. So 10 times better, at least. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I look forward to the big shoes that I need to fill.
I was just about to say that those are big shoes to fill, and these will be really encouraging. Thank you so much, jury members. As we come to the close of this inspiring evening, I'm filled with immense hope, gratitude, and renewed determination. On behalf of the Earthcare Awards, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to the esteemed dignitaries and guests today, our distinguished jury members, of course, our knowledge partners and outreach partners, and all the invisible teams who make this evening a success, because there's so much hard work that goes throughout the whole year to see this culmination. And most importantly, all of you, my dear audiences, for believing in the power of collective climate action. For our 13 years editions now, the Earthcare Awards have celebrated the belief that meaningful change is possible when people come together with purpose and conviction. Let tonight not mark an end, but a renewed beginning, a launch pad for the stronger collaborations, bolder ideas, and continued action towards a more sustainable future. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to request all the prize winners and the jury to join Mrs. Jindal on stage for a group photo. Thank you so much. And then please join us for dinner after this. Thank you.